what have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. Yep. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. They're not. It's what like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in the football state. You're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, you know, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome to another edition of the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone A. Johnson here. As always, got a great show for you today. It feels like it's been a long time since we had an NFL game, but we have one tonight. If that's what you call the Raiders. They'll be playing football tonight. Huge underdogs against the Denver Broncos, looking to win their 7th consecutive game and put more distance and daylight between themselves and the currently out of the playoffs Kansas City Chiefs. That's on the table. Much more in that game coming up in a bit. I want to lead off today with a little basketball because there's something happening right before our eyes, and I'm getting great joy out of being an observer and a spectator with it. Big bag of popcorn, my Grand Marnier and Coke on my side, and I'm watching it. And yes, it's not, the Knicks, so the Knicks won again last night. Big win against the T-Wolves, undefeated at home. Mitchell Robinson, 9 offensive rebounds. The backcourt for the Knicks had 15 assists. I mean, they are the best team in all of basketball, and you guys are lucky enough to have them in your lives. But that's not what I want to start with today, folks. I want to start with today something that when I brought it up about a month and a half ago or so, I was ridiculed, I was mocked. People online told me I know nothing about basketball. I'm merely a LeBron hater, and on and on and on. And yet we wake up today after a great basketball game last night between the Lakers and the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs came into that game with 1 loss. Lakers went in with 2 losses. Obviously no LeBron James, but Luka Doncic's back for the Lakers, right? And the Los Angeles Lakers won that game 118-116, giving the Spurs their 2nd loss of the season. And the LA Lakers, who have been without LeBron James, missed Austin Reeves for, I think, 2 games thus far, and missed Luka for a week thus far, are now the 2nd best record in the sport at 7-2. So those of you that mocked me a month ago when I told you that the Lakers are a better basketball team without LeBron James, what do you say now? Those of you that mocked me a month ago when I came out and I told you that LeBron James is at best the 3rd option for this team offensively, behind Luka Doncic at number 1 and Austin Reeves at number 2, you mocked me. But now here we are, almost a month into the season. The Lakers are 7-2, playing really good team basketball, and LeBron James has yet to play a minute. I'm not suggesting he can't play basketball anymore. I know that he can. But what I'm telling you right now is if LeBron comes back into the mix, he screws it all up because he's going to want the basketball. He's going to look at Austin Reeves and say, you weren't even drafted. Give me the rock. He's going to look at Luka and go, you joined my team. I didn't join your team. Give me the rock. The Lakers are and will be a better basketball team without LeBron James. So let's go back to the third thing I said a month ago, Tyrone, which I also got mocked for and ridiculed online. I made the comment that LeBron James will not play basketball for the Los Angeles Lakers this year. And what happened yesterday? Yesterday, they once again changed the timeline on LeBron's return. First, it was going to be a week, then maybe 2 weeks. Then November 15th was going to be the magical day, which is a week from Saturday. And now they're saying he's not going to come back until he can successfully play 5-on-5 full court basketball more than just once, meaning at the practice facility, right?
Yeah.
That day's never coming because he's not hurt. LeBron James made a power play in which he thought the Lakers would need him. The idea was that the Lakers get off to a bad start, LeBron's on the sideline, and people start begging and hoping and praying for his return to be the savior. And the goal was, let me prove to everybody that Luka Doncic and 4 essentially no-name guys on the court with him are going to win games. And the idea was that they're not going to win, and they're going to beg me to come back. He doesn't have sciatica. There's nothing wrong with his back. His legs are just fine. I saw him jump up off the bench when Bronny actually scored on that dunk a couple games ago. He's fine. He's basically holding out. And the problem with holding out is that it can backfire on you. The Lakers are 7-2. The holdout has not worked. And now I know what the Lakers are doing. The Lakers right now are trying to figure out at some point later this year who's going to trade for him and can we send him to a place that he will accept going to. Okay?
Yeah.
That's happening right now. The Lakers have now figured out what a lot of you don't want to admit, but when you look in the mirror, when your wife tucks you into bed at night and gives you a kiss, mwah, and says, don't let the bed bugs bite, you have to know in your heart of hearts that the Lakers are a better basketball team without LeBron James. And this is not just a LeBron hater saying it. This is statistically provable. The Lakers are 7-2 with the second best record, well, I guess the best record now, in the sport. In the sport. And they're doing it with, I guess, the second best record. Oklahoma City's only got one loss. All right, so cut that part out. The Lakers have the second best record in the sport, and they've done it without LeBron James. So when LeBron tells them, oh, JJ Redick, I'm ready to come back, you know what the answer should be? Not yet. Not yet. We're good. We're good. We're good.
Now, listen, your first 2 points. Now, let's start off.
Let's do it.
If we're going to be completely honest, you are a LeBron hater, but that's all right. But you can't deny it. The first 2 points.
I'm good with it.
And I do believe in your third point. He's not going to play for the Lakers most likely again.
But everybody attacked me when I said that, and now all of a sudden people are recognizing maybe Craigie was right. The Lakers are better without LeBron James.
That's where I stopped.
And that's provable.
It's not provable, but it's a long season.
No, it is provable because they're not going to have a 7-2 run at any point this year with him.
Well, we'll have to wait and see if he was to play. If he plays for him, you have to see. But here's the problem. You see, if you're not, let's say you're not cynical. Let's just say you're not.
Go ahead.
All right? And you're thinking, we have an old player. LeBron is old as hell.
He's old. Right. Yes, he's not hurt. He's just old.
Okay, and they're saying, listen, we're going to monitor it. The back might be bothering you just a little bit. It might not be sciatica. It might just be a tweak. We'll bring you back when we need you.
No, you're missing the point here, and I appreciate that because you're a basketball fan.
That's the basketball thing.
You're trying to be objective.
That's the basketball thing.
This is why I'm your big brother in this regard, okay? Because I have enough life experience to see through the BS. You're still an innocent, naive virgin over there in the corner, a sports virgin. You're over there in the corner, and you just haven't learned yet because you haven't lived enough.
Virgin.
That's why I'm here, okay? So let me help your virginal eyes and ears out when it comes to LeBron James, okay? All right. The virginal basketball fan, like my friend Tyrone here, will say, why are you such a hater? Why are you so cynical? He's got a bad back problem, and at some point he will come back and he'll help the team out, and they're going to want him back. That's not how this works.
Help a team.
And that's not the Lakers, okay? And here's the reality. He made a play. This is all about ego. LeBron James was butthurt by the fact that people started acknowledging it's now Luka's team. Luka's the number one option. Luka's the better player. And by the way, he is, because he's 20 years younger than LeBron. He's the best player on the Lakers. We've now learned that Austin Reeves is the second best player. So LeBron, because he's hurt and he's in his feelings, which happens frequently with him because he's a sensitive, insecure billionaire, I'm going to sit out because I don't think the makeup of this roster is good enough to win without me. And a lot of people believe that, right? But now, 9 games into the season, we have learned a valuable lesson. The Lakers roster without LeBron James, I admit, they've not played all of the best teams in the league yet.
No.
They've had a couple cupcakes, but every team has. We have now learned the factual premise that the Lakers can win without LeBron James. So if you're the guy that was staging your own personal holdout, which I believe he was, and it backfires because the Lakers are 7-2, now you've got no choice but to really double down on the sciatica because you got trumped. You got trumped because the Lakers are 7-2, and my plan's working out. He never plays a game for the Lakers. They'll try to force his way to Golden State to be together with Steph Curry or something like that. But you have seen LeBron James play his last game as a Laker, and the Lakers are better off for it. Next topic after this. Come on.
We now have to figure out if they will be in the playoffs. They're the Super Bowl favorite and have shorter odds to miss the postseason as you and I sit here right now.
Right, but let me ask you this. Do you feel after this 5-4 record, 9 weeks, 10 weeks of the regular season, that their defense is as dominant as it was last year?
But the offense is better.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Fly Pelican, more like grounded Pelican. The Pelicans are 0-6 to start the season. Their main guys aren't their main guys. And it comes to a point where, what do you do if you are Joe Dumars and the leadership of New Orleans?
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You want to throw $12, $13 million at Kiffin? That's always a possibility. Summerall, they lost the other night to, in that matchup to UTSA. Or do you go back to potentially the mad scientist and Nick Saban, give him, complete control of the athletic department and see if he can turn it around? We'll see. But whatever they go, they're going to need a coach to hit the ground running.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
One playoff win, and it's been a train wreck in every other year. But if we all agree that he was right in how he handicapped the quarterback talent coming out of that draft, and they got the right guy, and I think we all do agree on that, then what's the benefit of bringing a totally new voice into the room to now be the coach of Jackson Dart?
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Much more on the LeBron-less Lakers with the second best record in basketball. And another example of just why he ain't the GOAT, never was, never will be. Sitting there on the sideline, wah! Luka's the best player, wah! Austin Reeves is the second best player, wah! What about me? What about everything I've done? Dude, just relax. Go drink your Hennessy that you're promoting and just chill out. Everything's going to be fine. You're a billionaire, right? I'm sure there's some team out there that at some point will be be desperate enough to say, okay, fine, bring in LeBron James, and you'll probably go join another team that's got multiple superstars because it's the only way you know how to win. And oh, by the way, nobody counts your bubble championship as a real championship.
Everyone counts that championship.
And you single-handedly ruin the Laker franchise. We all know this. You're not Kobe. You ain't Shaq. You're not even Big Shot Bob. You're none of them. And you don't deserve a statue outside of the Forum. You're not a great all-time Laker. You're not a top 10 all-time Laker. You're not a top 20 all-time Laker. You're not a top 25 all-time Laker. You're one of the great basketball players of all time. But for the Laker franchise, donut. You've been a donut. Let's acknowledge it. You've been a failure as one of the great players to ever play who likes to shop for championships. You thought you were going to go to L.A. and win a real championship. You haven't done that yet. You thought you'd win multiple championships. Haven't done that yet. Matter of fact, how many Western Conference Finals have you even gotten to? Not a lot. Not a lot.
Do you know your blood type?
Not a lot. So you sit out there. You force your son down everyone's throat, right? You have all your stands out there who are on your payroll saying how great he's playing, yet we watch him and he's not very good at NBA basketball. And you try to convince us of something we know better about. And along the way, a team that you thought was not going to win a lot of games, shockingly, has won a lot of games, damn near all of them, at 7-2. And I'm not a J.J. Redick guy, but J.J. Redick even knows, I hope LeBron's out longer. J.J. Redick goes home and tells his wife, if I had one wish right now, honey bunny, it would be that LeBron doesn't come back that soon, because I've got a great mix right now. I've got role players who are important, who actually get the rock, who I'm showing faith and belief in. As soon as LeBron comes back, he's like, he's almost like the moon, the sun, the earth. Let me see if I can explain this.
Yeah, land this plane.
It's gonna be tough land.
Land this plane.
All right, you know, your gravitational pull.
Yeah, I know about gravitational pull. Yeah. The sun's in the middle.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Where's the Earth?
And the Earth rotates around the sun. Okay. And then the moon rotates around the Earth.
I don't know how all that works, but I know
that's how it goes.
One of them things takes the oxygen out of every room when he walks in. Implosion.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the sun, the moon, or the Earth. I haven't gotten that far. I will do some studying on that. But he's like this awkward, like suffocating gravitational pull where everything's got to be centered around him.
Well, the vacuum of space. Now, I just want to ask you one more time.
He's like a vacuum. That's right.
Now, do you know your blood type? Because so far this program, it sounds like it's H. Now, this is for hate. This is hate blood. This is hate blood. Now I'm to believe that LeBron James a ball hog. Of all the things, he's a ball hog now.
That's right.
The knock that you guys used to have on him was that he passed too much.
Yeah, then he became a ball hog.
Now he's a ball hog.
That's right. Early in his career, you're right. The knock was you're supposed to be the best player. You take the shot. But then he recognized he's one of the worst last-second shooters in the history of basketball. He's not a clutch player. You can't count him to make a big shot.
That's not true.
I did the research.
You did.
So he went from, fine, I'll take the shot. Then he realized he sucked at taking the last shot. He doesn't have that many game winners. And you can't trust him with a game on the line, especially a playoff game. So then he became just an ISO dude. And part of that's because he got older. Then he's just an ISO guy. He never had great handles. You know that. And he became an ISO guy, and then with 4 or 5 seconds left on the shot clock, he'd finally give the rock up, and the dude who gets it's like, I don't want to shoot it. You're gonna kill my shooting percentage, but let's just come to an agreement here. All of us collectively as Americans.
Yeah.
Like, I know we don't agree on a lot these days.
It's tough.
There's a great divide in this country.
Polarized.
That being said, the one thing I think all of us, black, white, Republican, Democrat, Jews, Christians, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The one thing we can all agree on today is that the Lakers are a better basketball team without LeBron James. A period stop.
No.
Let's just be honest about it.
No. Now, I want to agree with you. I do.
Then just do it.
I want to agree with you. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
I feel like this is tinged just a little bit,
go ahead,
respectfully, with hate.
No, not at all.
I don't think you're coming from this from a pure place.
Let me be clear.
So it's hard for me.
I'm a diehard Knicks fan. Everybody knows that.
This is a pure place.
My favorite player of all time. I think Jordan's the greatest player of all time. Okay.
Second.
No, he's the greatest
Second.
of all time.
A lot of people play basketball.
I respect LeBron James's career. He's a great basketball player, but he's not the GOAT. He's tone deaf to what people think about him and who he is and where he is. And I hate that. He's insecure. I hate that. He's sensitive. He's got rabbit ears. I hate that. He tries to bully people into saying good things about him. I hate that. He has people legitimately, I know for a fact, on his payroll to say good things about him in sports media. I hate that.
Okay.
And he just doesn't let his game speak for itself. I hate the second decision, which he rooked everybody into thinking he might be announcing his retirement and said it was just promoting a cognac, right? Just all the things he does, the lying about the racist graffiti on the gate of his home, I hate that. I hate all of the stuff. The fact that you steal other people's ideas, like the barbershop show, I hate that. Like, just be who you are. One of the great basketball players of all time that doesn't have to answer to anybody. But, he does all these other things that make him very unlikable. But I want to be clear about this. That's not why I have this opinion. I have this opinion because whether you like it or not, Joe Dumars was right. Joe Dumars referred to me on national television as a basketball aficionado. In other words, a basketball expert, a man who anyone who's ever dribbled the ball respects my opinion because I know more ball than everybody. It's not my fault.
What is going on here?
It just happened. And you can ask Joe Dumars.
Yeah, I don't want to ask Joe Dumars anything about basketball. He's the worst GM in the sport. He's about to lose his job. Look at the Pelicans.
Don't ever sully the reputation of Joe Dumars.
Joe Dumars is terrible.
Don't do that, Philly guy.
No disrespect. He's terrible at his job.
No disrespect.
He's terrible at his job.
Hold on.
He's not a terrible person.
You cannot say a guy's terrible and then go, no disrespect. My point is this.
He's terrible.
I know more basketball than everybody else. And here's the reality that you cannot escape. And I'll say it for the hour if I have to. The Los Angeles Lakers are a better basketball team without LeBron James. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Jeremiah Love is a player that you have to keep an eye out on just because of a running back, his versatility, how good he is in the receiving game this year. We haven't seen a running back potentially crack the top three when you just think about it with the Heisman Trophy back there. Jeremiah Love just dominant. If Notre Dame wins out and they're in the college football playoff, Love should be involved in the conversation.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Fly Pelican, more like grounded Pelican. The Pelicans are 0-6 to start the season. Their main guys aren't their main guys. And it comes to a point where, what do you do if you are Joe Dumars and the leadership of New Orleans?
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Blue Jays are going to be dangerous for years to come because they have money. They're a fun team. Other players like Guerrero, the Blue Jays are a first-class organization. They treat the players very well. They're first-class complex. As I stated earlier, you can live like across the street from the stadium and there's no drama. You don't have to sit in traffic ever. You have an entire country that buys your jerseys and are big fans of yours.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here as well. You know, we try to have as much fun as you can possibly have just talking about sports and BSing with each other. But every now and then, real life kind of gets in the way of that. So I know this is a little out of character for what we do here on the Craig Carton Show, but I think it's necessary that we spend a moment or two talking about it. As you are going through your day-to-day, you may have heard already. If not, I'll bring you the news, sadly, that Marshawn Kneeland, Dallas Cowboy defensive player, 24 years old, passed away last night. Those of you that watched the Cowboy game on a couple nights ago, you know that he was the defensive lineman that recovered the blocked punt against Arizona in the end zone for a touchdown and celebrated it. The Cowboys, of course, went to lose that game. Unfortunately, last night, someone called in for a welfare check at his home. Nobody answered the door, and then I guess when police or first responders made entry into Marshawn's house, they found that he had passed away. There's a lot of rumors out there about what it might be. Obviously, when you hear welfare check and a young man at 24 years old passing away, one of the first things you consider is suicide. That is not confirmed just yet, but no reason to talk around it. Let's talk about it. You know, I've experienced moments in my life where I was in a very low place and considered taking my own life. And it's why whenever I can and when I counsel, young compulsive gamblers and their families, it's one of the things I get concerned about because the suicide rate amongst gamblers is higher than any other addiction. And this is not about gambling. It's just about being a man. There's a thought that goes through our society that real men, quote unquote, don't share their feelings, don't open up when they're hurting. And nothing could be further from the truth. Pain is real. Emotional pain is real. Mental pain is real. And my advice has always been, since I went through it and had my life saved by a friend who, God's grace, answered the phone when I called, and I was going to jump off a chairlift out in British Columbia, down probably to my death, 150 feet down off a chairlift. I thankfully had my phone with me and called the first number I had. It's a friend that Tyrone and I both have in common. And he just talked me down and told me he loved me over and over again and stopped me from doing what I was getting ready to do. And the reason I share that is, if that is the case with Marshawn Kneeland, you got to look out for people you care about. You have to ask the question, are you okay? Talk to me. And for those of you that are going through a tough moment, for whatever reason, whether it's self-inflicted, whether it's the job, a relationship, just life in and of itself, and you feel like getting up tomorrow and waking up tomorrow isn't worth it, it is worth it. And I can speak that from personal experience. I would have missed out on so much. My family would have missed out on so much had I jumped off that chairlift, back in 2018. And I just think it's important that we drop the stereotype that real men don't open up, that real men don't cry, that real men don't share their feelings. And I know it's a cliche now, but it's also okay to not be okay. And it's okay to call a dear friend, a brother, a family member, someone in your life that you know loves you, and just pick up the phone and say, I need help. I'm not okay. And again, this is not confirmed, but when I hear welfare check, and then of course they find Marshawn passed away, it seems like in his home, and he's 24 years old, there was obviously something else going on in his life that nobody knew about or that he didn't ask for help with. And it's an unnecessary lost life. That's what this is, assuming that the welfare check is what I think it might be. Yeah. And if it's not, it still doesn't change the fact that there's a 24-year-old who's dead and shouldn't be. And I would just say, and I know this is like a soapbox thing, and I don't want it to be, but pick up the phone, call somebody, call anybody. It could be a pastor, a rabbi, a relative, a friend, a coworker. If you're feeling off, if there's something not right, you know what the manly thing to do is? It's actually to ask for help and show a little vulnerability. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to not always be Superman for everybody around you. And I just want to share that because, it happens all too often. And every time it happens, you'll see a random public service announcement that nobody pays attention to, but it's real. It's real. There are people in your lives, in my life, in Tyrone's life, that are hurting right now, and we may not know it. And I would just say one other thing. If you are aware of it, if a friend of yours is acting off or not the way they usually act, care enough to ask them what's going on.
Absolutely. And real fast, if anybody out there feels like they have no loved ones to speak to, you can call or text 988 to get a professional to help you out if you feel comfortable there, because there's always somebody out there that is looking out for you.
There's also a great app that I do some work with. It's HEYY, Hey. And they are 24/7 available for counseling. Or if you are feeling like you're going to hurt yourself or do something bad to yourself, you can go to this app and there are people 24/7 standing by just to kind of talk you off the ledge a little bit. But thoughts and prayers go out to the Cowboys extended family, to Marshawn Kneeland's family, his girlfriend, his folks, and people that cared about him. And it's just an unnecessary loss of life. And I'm just begging you, please reach out and call somebody. That one call could very well save your life, and I think you should do it. We'll take a quick break.
What have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. They're not. It's like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Governor calls you out in a football state. You're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, you know, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor, because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone A. Johnson here as well. Remember on yesterday's show, I opened up the show by telling you that the Buffalo Bills were the biggest losers at the trade deadline because they're not good enough to win the Super Bowl this year. It's another year in which they're asking Josh Allen to be a Superman and save them because they have no deep threat and their wide receiving core is not great. Couple decent guys, but not great, right? And defensively, they're one of the worst teams against the run, and they just have not done a great job in building that team with the depth they need and the talent they need to win a Super Bowl. And I even said to you, it seems like after beating Kansas City last week, they were like, there, that's it. We just proved to everybody we're good enough to win a Super Bowl. Well, apparently people in Buffalo, as they always have, listen to what I say. And word got back to their general manager, Brandon Beane, yo, you're getting killed. Carton's killing you guys. You're the biggest losers at the trade deadline. And I feel like they were, because they're the team that at some point has to shed the image of, we're good enough to get to the playoffs, but we're not good enough to advance in the playoffs, and we're never good enough to beat Kansas City. And there were trades to be had. Seattle upgraded their wide receiving core and got a deep threat for Sam Darnold. You know why? Because they recognize, without another great wide receiver to play next to Najigba, that they weren't going to win a Super Bowl. Because you can double team him, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so they did something. A lot of teams did better. The Eagles won a Super Bowl last year, and they did a couple moves and got Jaden Phillips there.
Yep, and added
Not
two
only
corners.
that, they added 2 cornerbacks, and they offered 3 first-round draft picks for Myles freaking Garrett. Yeah. So you can play the game if you want to play the game, or you can sit on your ass and say, I've done enough, we should be able to win because we have Josh Allen. So word gets back to Brandon Beane, you better explain yourself, because Bills fans are as pissed as Craigie is, and Craigie used to live in Buffalo, and he speaks for all Bills fans.
Those great 7 months.
I'm going to let you hear. That's right. Great, solid 7 months I lived there.
That's right.
I want to hear a little clip of Brandon Beane and his excuse for why the Bills did, in Yiddish we say, ugats. It's also Italian. Nothing. Zero. Here's Brandon Beane explaining and who he blames for why the Bills couldn't get a single deal done. Watch this. It's awesome.
And I think there's definitely a faction of, the GMs are coming in younger, and there's more have played true fantasy football and stuff like that, and they're growing up in the world of trades.
All right, so he's blaming younger general managers who used to play fantasy football. In other words, that they'll call you up with some crazy trade that doesn't make any sense, and they think you're stupid. That's basically what he's saying, right? Mm-hmm. But here's the problem with that. The most active team leading up to the trade deadline was Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Howie's not a quote-unquote young guy that got the job because he won his fantasy football league or he's great at building a team through Madden football, right?
They're also 11 months apart in age. They're 11 months apart.
So you're telling me that Howie Roseman and the Eagles can acquire 3 players, 2 of whom are going to start right away, a third that's going to get a lot of playing time, right? We're willing to go get Myles Garrett, and this is a team that could easily rest on its laurels.
Could have, right. First place. Could have.
They've been to a couple Super Bowls under Howie Roseman as GM.
Yeah.
They've obviously won Super Bowls now.
Yeah, multiple
with Howie
with him.
Roseman.
Yeah, 2 now with him,
right,
yeah.
as the GM. And Howie Roseman doesn't just wait for the phone to ring or some 30-year-old GM going, hey, I want half your team. He's active. Which is why Eagle fans love Howie Roseman, because he never stops. And the salary cap means nothing to him. He always figures it out. So if you're Brandon Beane, you think Bills fans are going to accept the fact, well, the reason I didn't go out there and get Shaheed Rahid, who went over to Seattle,
right.
The reason I didn't go out there and try to get Myles Garrett to help my run defense, which I'm desperate to help out, was because the other GMs are younger than me and they think they're playing fantasy football? What?
Seattle's GM is 54. He's 5 years older.
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
Right. So, again, I know you're trying to come up with an excuse that Bills fans will accept. And I've said this a million times. There are certain fan bases that truly deserve better. I'm one of them. New York Jet fans deserve better.
Absolutely.
They do.
Cleveland.
Before, this that you guys have had, Eagle fans deserved better.
Yeah.
You've gotten in spades. I'm tired of you winning now.
Well,
but you went
used
through
to
a good
it, yeah.
decade plus
Absolutely.
where you deserved better.
Absolutely. Cleveland fans.
Cleveland fans deserve more than all of us. Be honest about that. But Bills fans went through a long period of time before Sean McDermott got there where they deserved better. 4 straight Super Bowl losses with Marv Levy and Jim Kelly, and then nothing.
A big loss.
20 years of absolutely nothing. It was embarrassing. Even Rex Ryan there, failure, right? Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden, they've got a good thing going because they got a badass quarterback. But Bills fans deserve this. I really feel that way. Bills fans, great blue-collar town, dreary 6-7 months out of the year. All they have is Bills football. They had a minor league baseball team there, right? Beautiful stadium, Pilot Field. That's what it used to be called when I was there. Yeah. And they got a bad hockey team. These people need something. They need something in their lives. And the GM gets up there after doing nothing to improve the roster and to give them a better chance of, let's be honest, beating the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the team you got to beat. Maybe the Ravens this year also, like it's been the last couple of years. But you got to beat Kansas City in January, or what's the point of having a great quarterback when you don't surround him with better talent? And Brandon Beane's excuse is, well, all the other GMs are so young, they think they're playing fantasy football. And he went on to say, I'll paraphrase here, because I don't want to just show you the video of the whole show, is he's piping hot mad that he couldn't pull off a trade. Well, I'm just wondering, and I don't know all the first-round picks they have coming up, so shame on me. Did they go to the Cleveland Browns and try to get Myles Garrett?
No, that would have been out.
Did they pick up the phone?
They would have been out.
Right, why didn't you? Right? Now, I'm not saying you could have gotten the deal done, but I know the Eagles offered 3 first-round draft picks for Myles Garrett. The Eagles won a Super Bowl. You've never gotten to a Super Bowl since you became the general manager of the Bills. And have you built a decent team? Kinda. But it's all built around one dude. Like, your defense is average. You're one of the worst run defenses in football, and your defense has been a weakness of this team since you've been there. Yeah. You got rid of Stephon Diggs. I get that. He's a pain in everyone's ass, cancer in the locker room, distraction. But you got nothing back for him, and it cost you $30 million against the cap.
As he helps New England, your main competitor right now in the division.
Right.
He's helping them.
The team you're trailing in your own division said, we'll take Stephon Diggs from Houston, no problem.
Right, and he's helping them
and
win.
He's been apparently a model dude.
Right.
So it's always easy to blame somebody else. But I am the voice of Bills fans. Make sure you put this out. On behalf of all Bills fans, the Bill fan deserves better. Brandon Beane has let the Bills fan down. It's time to get interactive with the 31 other teams and get a deal done to improve that damn roster. You are wasting prime Josh Allen years, and you're blaming it on other general managers. There were trades there to be made, and you sat on your hands, and you're blaming everybody else for your failure to make a trade. And while I'm on the AFC East, allow me to go to the New York Jets. Okay. All right? Aaron Glenn spoke yesterday, and a lot of us thought it was just going to be about their decision to trade away Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, two of their better defensive players. They did get 3 major draft picks back, 4 draft picks back, 3 first-rounders and a second-rounder. Yeah. So they got a Pirates booty back, and I applauded the moves, all good with it. But he said something that rankled me to my core. Listen to Aaron Glenn yesterday. Play it. Go ahead, guys.
Listen, I want this to be a team that the fans are proud of. But again, I never said that we're going to be proud of them right now.
Excuse me? Excuse me? When Aaron Glenn got the job, and we all applauded him getting the job, did a great job in Detroit as defensive coordinator. I had no issue with him getting the job, and I root for him. He said at his introductory press conference, my number one goal is to put a team on the field that Jet fans were proud of. And the Jets are 1-7. So now that we're 1-7 and traded away 2 of our best players, which again, I agreed with the move. I'm not knocking the move. Now he's he's like a politician. Now he's saying, yeah, I want to have a team that the fans are proud of, but not this year.
Not now. Not now.
Not now. Like, who thought that I was going to put a team on the field that Jets fans would be proud of now?
You're the Jets.
Like, that is the ultimate politician right there. And there's a part of me that wants to like it, but man, you lied to my face. I don't like being lied to. Yuck.
Jeremiah Love is a player that you have to keep an eye out on just because of a running back, his versatility, how good he is in the receiving game this year. We haven't seen a running back potentially crack the top 3 when you just think about it with the Heisman Trophy back there. Jeremiah Love just dominant. If Notre Dame wins out and they're in the college football playoff, Love should be involved in the conversation.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Fly, Pelican, more like grounded Pelican. The Pelicans are 0-6 to start the season. Their main guys aren't their main guys. And it comes to a point where, what do you do if you are Joe Dumars and the leadership of New Orleans?
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Blue Jays are going to be dangerous for years to come because they have money. They're a fun team. Other players like Guerrero, the Blue Jays are a first-class organization. They treat the players very well. They're first-class complex. As I stated earlier, you can live like across the street from the stadium and there's no drama. You don't have to sit in traffic ever. You have an entire country that buys your jerseys and are big fans of yours.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here as well. We do have an update on the situation down in Dallas with Marshawn Kneeland. According to police officers and reporters in Dallas, unfortunately, it is a self-inflicted gunshot wound. There's a story that the police were involved at some level, where I believe the police may have even been chasing him. Yeah. You have the details there?
Yeah, there was a chase where he refused to stop. They terminated the pursuit. The vehicle was later found abandoned. They ended up going to his house. He run the plates, and they found him, unfortunately, deceased due to a self-inflicted gunshot.
Yeah, so there's something going on. Police were called. There was a brief chase. They stopped the chase.
Yep.
He apparently drove himself home, went into his home.
Or left the vehicle somewhere, then walked, got home in some way.
Somehow left the vehicle that was being chased by the police, got home in some manner, and then took his own life with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So the reports that we thought of it being suicide turned out to be right. Didn't know that there was some type of police involvement or something happened earlier in the night. I'm sure over the next couple hours we will hear that. But again, a sad ending and a sad story without knowing all the specifics of it. I reiterate what I said a few minutes ago, and that is if you have somebody in your life that's troubled or hurting or you're hurting, there are other answers than doing what he wound up doing, and it's never as bad as it might seem in the moment. So please just ask for help. Help is definitely out there. So a sad ending or conclusion to that story while we're sitting here on the air. Some news and notes for you here on the Craig Carton Show. We do have a football game tonight.
Yes.
But it's kind of one of those, all right, it's on, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
You know, because it beats doing the dishes or taking the garbage out or, having to let the dog in and out of the house 17 times. And it's the understanding I have in my house. When football's on, Daddy's watching it. Even if I don't want to watch it. And let's be honest, the Broncos have won 6 in a row. They're in first place right now. They've won a bunch of games really by the hair of their chinny chin chins. The 33-point fourth quarter against the Giants. The bad performance out in Europe against the Jets.
They barely won, yeah.
The Lutz field goal at the buzzer this past week. They have not played great football, but I'll say this. One of the signs of a really well-coached team is when you win games that you don't play well in.
That's right.
You find a way. Mm-hmm. And they have found a way repeatedly. And if you look at their 2 losses this year, they came on field goals at the very end of the game.
Yeah.
So the Broncos have they've benefited from it. They've been hurt by it. But tonight should be a guaranteed dub for them. I just don't think it's going to be. I don't. They're the far better team. I assume they're favored by more than a touchdown tonight.
8.5.
Yeah, so that all makes sense to me. But having won the way they've won the last couple weeks, last-minute wins, average at best, kind of sloppy football, and then pulling it out in the end, those types of games, there comes a point where that bites you in the ass. And tonight's that kind of game where we all know they're better, where they're going for their 7th win in a row. They're trying to solidify themselves as the best team in the division and put as much distance between themselves and the Chiefs as possible, because that's who you're really worried about.
And that's who they play next week.
Right. And it's a look-ahead game because you've got the Chiefs next week. I'm not saying they're going to lose, but it wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't surprise me if tonight's game is one of those games where you're like, son of a gun, why did I put my money on the Denver Broncos? I don't recommend gambling, obviously. I don't do it. Tyrone does it only when he really likes a game.
Yeah.
But and the spread's not telling me anything, none of that stuff. I just think with the Chiefs up next, and this is a game everyone expects them to just dominate, at some point, the Raiders are going to play a game where they beat a team they're not supposed to beat. Every team does once.
Everybody.
And I think tonight could be that night.
Interesting. I go to the other side. They've smoked 2 teams this year, the Bengals and the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Raiders are as bad as those 2 teams.
By the way, I'm with you. Raiders are not a good team. They're not. And I know they went for the win last week, the 2-point. I get it. Mm-hmm. They're not a good team. I'm just telling you, be careful. I can't wait to watch it because football's back.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you, you got to be careful. That's number 1. Number 2, the Rams have hired a new kicker, and he looks like one of us. He's fat, and he's got the nickname Thicker the Kicker.
Well, there you go.
Excuse me.
The thicker kicker.
You know what I meant. The thicker kicker.
Thick with a C. You got to remember, that's the new thick is that's what that's about. The new C. Yeah. The new one.
The thicker kicker.
That's right.
And speaking of thicker, you guys know that I don't spend a lot of time or any time worried about or watching women play sports. Other than the Olympics.
Yeah.
I like Olympic skiers and the skaters. I like that stuff.
That's coming up. Less than 100 days.
Yeah, I like all that.
Yeah.
But there's a gal who plays college basketball. And what's her name again? Her name is Audi Crook.
I believe, is it 80? Was it Audi
Crook?
Audi Crook.
Yeah, it's like Audi Crook is her name.
Yeah.
And she had like a quadruple double last night.
She can hoop.
But before you don't show her yet. You know that in sports there's a phrase that we all use in sports when an athlete is really like heating up.
Yeah.
And one of the phrases we use from time to time is, boy, he's really eating things up tonight. He's really eating it up. You know that phrase? You've heard that phrase?
I've heard that phrase,
yeah.
Yes.
Or you'll see players like in the NFL, like do this whole thing.
Yeah.
Feed me to rock.
Yeah.
Keep feeding me, right? Feed me. That was Ezekiel Elliott started that.
Yeah.
Feed me. Well, Audi Crook was in feed me mode last night. Take a look. Yeah. What?
No, this girl can hoop. Look at her down there.
Yeah.
Bang. Bang.
She's got the low post. She's got soft touch from the outside. She can dish like Jay Will, right?
Yeah.
And she's a big girl, but good for her. I can tell you, she's the heavy Caitlin Clark. This is my new favorite women's athlete.
In all
I
seriousness.
am fully supportive of Audi Crook. I'm going to start watching her.
Okay.
I want to sign her to an NIL deal.
She's in the same state. She's just in Iowa State.
Great.
She averaged over 20 points a game last year.
I'm in Iowa all the time to watch my son play football.
There you go.
I'm offering Audi Crook an NIL deal, and that's my girl. Because good for her. Because I'm sure her entire life she's been made fun of because she's a big girl.
She's also really tall, too.
And
she's
she's
6'3".
like, you know what? I am a big girl, and big girls need love, too. I learned that in Buffalo. That's a true statement. And she's out there balling. She's like Magic. She's like Bird. She's like Curry. She's like Charles Oakley. Give me the ball. Get out of my way. Audi Crook, the heavy Caitlin Clark, and I got her backs.
There you go.
I got all of it. And that's my girl. Don't be saying negative stuff about my favorite college women's basketball player, Audi Crooks. I hope the Liberty sign her next year.
Yeah,
I become a season ticket holder.
There you go.
There you go.
I'll also get season tickets.
I'll get 2 tickets.
There we go.
All right, we'll wrap it up with some football thoughts after this. Audi Crooks, what's up?
What have the Jays done all season long? And you've seen it, Kev, as a fan of the AL East. They get murdered or lose a heartbreaking game and come back and punch you in the face. They're not. It's what like the old Jays team used to fold, and that's what I used to hate about them. These guys are different. They're like guys you go to war with. It's like, man, you're my buddy. Like, let's go. Like, their clubhouse dynamic, I've never seen a Blue Jay team where everyone gets along.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Apparently, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. The 49ers are decimated by injury. This guy's doing it again. Wade Phillips, Norv Turner, all these guys, there's a lot of great coordinators out there. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel isn't a real good coordinator, a run game coordinator, a quarterback coach with the 49ers during some Super Bowl years. Maybe he's just not built to be a head coach.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I think a divorce is coming. I don't think LeBron finishes the year with the LA Lakers. And the trump card he tried to play has backfired on him big time. And I'm here for all the smoke. I got my marshmallows. I got my skewers. I got the fireplace. I'm going to sit back, kicking my feet, and watch the LA dysfunction play out in real time.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
The governor calls you out in a football state. You're out.
And it was so funny, too, because after he fired Kelly on Sunday, right, Woodward released a statement that said that, you know, in effect, that he was still in charge of the athletic department. Well, you didn't check with the governor because apparently he had other plans for the athletic department, and you're not in them.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to the Craig Card Show. Tyrone Johnson here, as always. You got the game tonight, Broncos and Vegas Raiders. One quick thing: did you see the story that came out about those dudes that broke into the Louvre and stole all the jewels? They've since been caught.
Yeah.
But you know they broke in. You know what the password was for the Louvre?
What was it?
The Louvre.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Yeah. That's what police discovered, that the Louvre password was Louvre.
Disappointed that they were caught.
So apparently not that hard to break into the Louvre.
Yeah.
Not
Disappointed that they were caught.
I was disappointed they got caught also.
In a way.
Because it's like you want it to be like a movie.
Yes.
And every now and then you want the bad guy to get away with it.
Yes. This
win.
This was high crime, I thought.
Yeah, look, I thought so too.
Apparently,
but they didn't get away with it.
No.
Their escape plan didn't seem as well organized as their thievery. A couple other quick things before we get out of here. I do want to, I mentioned this yesterday and I'll do it now. You know, the New York Giants didn't make any moves at all either at the trade deadline. They need a lot of help. They've got this young quarterback who's running for his life a lot. Mm-hmm. And of course, because Malik Neighbors is out with the torn ACL, he ain't got like a who's who of wide receivers to throw the rock to. I was surprised for a minute that the Giants didn't do anything either at the deadline. And then it dawned on me, at 2-7, by the way, that there's a good reason why the Giants didn't do anything that impacts their salary cap for years to come. And while they won't admit this, and no one else has run with this is the facts of the matter. They didn't do anything because John Mara, the owner, wouldn't let them do anything. Because he hasn't decided yet, am I bringing Joe Shane, the general manager, back? Probably shouldn't. Am I bringing Brian Dable, the coach, back? Probably shouldn't, right? Unless you think he's the only guy that's going to get the most out of Jackson Dart, and that's debatable at best. But if you believed in your general manager to be your future general manager, then he's got carte blanche.
Yeah.
Make the moves you have to make so that next year we have better draft picks, we get better talent here. And the proof of this is the Jets. Yep. The New York Jets, and granted, their GM's in his first year, Muji, but they believe he's the guy. He has the autonomy to make deals, even when it means trading away two of your best defensive players in Quinnen Williams, defensive tackle, and Sauce Gardner, cornerback. And he made those trades, and we all agree they were great trades.
They were.
Yeah, we got 3 first-rounders and a second-round back. But if Woody Johnson didn't think that he was going to be the guy next year, they never could have done those deals. So what we've learned now, if you read between the lines, is that John Mara has not yet decided to bring Joe Shane back, which to me means he has decided not to bring him back, but he's not going to fire him during the year, because what's the point of that? You just tell the general manager, I'm taking away all of your power. I'm not allowing you to make personnel moves. I'm not going to embarrass you by firing you during the season. It's already a lost season, so I'll leave you there. But I would not be surprised if the Giants have quietly put out some feelers to other potential candidates, or even using a company to start isolating. Yeah. They're like placement companies.
Yeah, those search committees they have.
Search committees or whatever.
Yeah, but those companies that do it, they do the background checks, they do everything.
For example, the 33rd team that my dear friend Mike Tannenbaum started, the former GM of the Jets and head of the Dolphins for a couple of years, they do that. Yeah. Like they're the ones that told the Jets to hire Aaron Glenn, for example, right? Mm-hmm. And Muji as GM. So my gut is that's what the Giants are going to do. But it's very clear to me that if you don't believe in your GM and you're not bringing him back, you don't let him make trade deadline trades. So if you're a Giant fan, I guess this is something you should be happy about. Joe Shane is not coming back next year to be the New York Giants general manager.
Yeah,
that's now a done deal.
And then as far as the coach goes, these games that I think are winnable. You have the Bears left on the schedule, the Commanders, the Vikings, the Raiders, and the Cowboys.
So
I'm not saying they're going to win them all. I'm saying they're winnable.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If the coach wants to come back, he needs to win 1 or 2 of those.
I think even more than that.
Yeah, if he doesn't, I just can't imagine you can bring him back.
No, and you made the point a week or two ago. The Giants are also looking at the possibility of losing 11 straight.
11 straight.
And then the coach can't come back.
In year 4.
Yeah, the coach can't come back because there are winnable games there.
That's winnable.
Like none of those teams scare you.
Right.
Those teams might even be a little bit better than you talent-wise. But if you're telling me that, Caleb Williams, J.J. McCarthy,
Whoever.
Marcus Mariota.
Right.
And the Cowboys the way they are today. You
and the
can't
Raiders,
beat them.
You can't beat any of them.
Right. I mean,
mean,
Geno Smith leads the league in interceptions. You can't beat the Raiders, so I'm with you on that.
You got to win. You got to win a couple.
I think you got to win 3 of those 5.
Yeah, you got to. And then if you lose to the Packers and the Lions and the Patriots, you live with that. Those are good teams.
Yeah, and then one other thing, and I know it's New York related, but I want to congratulate you, a diehard, long-suffering New York Mets fan. Today's an anniversary. Congratulations, happy anniversary. Today marks the 5th year that Steve Cohen has owned the New York Mets. And I remember when he took the Mets over from the Wilpons, he said, if I don't win a World Series within 3 to 5 years, I'll be, his words, not mine, slightly disappointed. Well, in 5 years, you've only made the playoffs twice and only made the NLCS once. I guess you're slightly disappointed. Have a good day.